Hello beautiful people, I hope that you are doing well. My name is Shireen Moore and I am the founder of Ivy Wild. Ivy Wild is a hair care products company which caters to wavy, curly and kinky hair types. In this video, we're going to talk all things natural hair. The main reason why I wanted to record this video is to help you make educated decisions when it comes to buying products, following different people's methods, and to help you to make decisions that are right for your hair type. The three things I'm going to be speaking to you about today: porosity, density and strand size. So let's get straight into it. Porosity. Porosity is really important because it actually determines how much your hair is able to absorb and retain moisture. Why is that important? It's important because if you have dry hair strands, that is an indication of damage or an indication of high porosity. So there are three different types of porosity: high porosity, medium porosity, low porosity. I always try to use then an example of our hands being open and closed. So if you have high porosity, the strands on your hair, the cuticles on your hair are going to be open like this. Whereas if it's medium, it's going to be like this. And if it's low porosity, it's going to be closed shut like this. Let's begin with high porosity. So high porosity means that the cuticles on your hair strands are open. That means that the hair is unable to absorb and retain moisture. So moisture goes in, but it also comes back out straight away. Medium porosity is the goal because it's able to absorb, so moisture goes in, and retain some of that moisture. It doesn't let too much out. When your hair is looking beautiful and moisturized, that is why, because you have just the right amount of water within the hair strand. Low porosity, that means the hair strands look pretty much like this, so your hair does not allow any moisture to get within the strand itself, so the cuticles are closed. Some of the things that are associated with high porosity is damage. So if you actually use a lot of heat on your hair, more than likely the cuticles within the hair strands are actually open and damaged, and that's the main reason why it's unable to keep the moisture locked in. So if the cuticles are open and moisture can get in, it can easily get back out. On the flip side to that, if you have low porosity hair, then more than likely the water is literally just bouncing off of the cuticles, off of the hair strand, and they're not letting nothing in. Nada. If you'd like more information about high porosity or low porosity, I've previously done videos on this for you. Why is knowing your porosity level so important? Partly why it's so important is because it actually helps you to identify what products are ideal for you and how to layer those products on your hair. So for example, if your hair has high porosity, your focus is going to be trying to seal in moisture. So what that means is, again, touching on high porosity, your hair absorbs moisture really well, so it allows moisture into the hair strand, but it has an issue holding it and keeping it in. So what you need to do is figure out how to close those cuticles so you can keep the moisture within the hair strand. So some products that you really want to try and invest in are products that are actually going to create barriers and layers. So the first product that I'm going to recommend to you is our Leave-In Moisture Spray. So this spray is a nozzle spray, so it's really easy to apply to the hair, and you're just going to make sure that you coat all the hair strands with this. It has aloe vera juice, mango butter and honey, so those key ingredients are really going to help you keep your hair moist. It's a really nice lightweight product, and as this is going to be the first thing that you put on your hair, remembering that we're going to layer up on products to keep that moisture in, this is going to be fantastic as your base. So someone who suffers from high porosity really wants to make sure they're sealing their hair as much as possible. So a method that I would definitely recommend is the LOC method, which is leave-in oil cream. So bearing that in mind, there is a product that I'm definitely going to recommend to you. It's the Ivy Wild Sheeby Growth Cream. Now this is a creamy texture, but it is butters and oils that are going to help you seal in that moisture, honey. So you're going to start with the Leave-In Moisture Spray and follow up with the Sheeby Growth Cream to LOC. So if you have low porosity, you're going to do the opposite. You're actually going to LCO rather than LOC. The main reason for that is, as we know, as long as you can open up the cuticles within the hair strand, because if you remember, low porous hair looks like this, so you're not getting any moisture in. As long as you can open up the moisture, we already know that those strands are going to seal the moisture in because your cuticles close quite quickly. So what I recommend you doing is, if you have low porosity hair, is trying to open up the strands first, and you can do this with heat, believe it or not. So we're going to use heat to our advantage in a safe way. So steaming the hair is fantastic for this. It actually helps to open up the cuticles. Applying warm water to your hair first is going to be fantastic for opening up the cuticles. Any kind of warmth that you can get into the hair strands is going to gently open the strands up. Not direct heat, so we don't really want to use any dry direct heat like a hair dryer or curling irons or straighteners. We want to avoid those heats. Let's talk density. Density is how many hair strands you have on your head. It's helpful to know how dense your hair is because it's going to help you understand how much product to apply to your hair. So similar to the 3 porosity levels, there are 3 density levels. So there is low density, medium density, and high density. So of course, if your hair is quite thick, you're going to add more products. Whereas if your hair is quite thin, you're not going to necessarily need as much products. It also helps with concentration levels within the products themselves. For example, those with hair that's quite dense are more than likely going to need higher concentrations of water content within a product because you really want to make sure all the hair strands are coated, and you don't really need as heavy products because there's so much hair. So strand size, you have fine strands, medium strands, and coarse hair strands. So coarse, touching on coarse, I'm really trying to change my vocabulary because I was corrected the other day about using the word coarse. Coarse, a lot of the times we refer to coarse as hair that's quite thick. It's actually the size of your strand. So as in the density of your actual hair strand. If it's quite thick, then that is referred to as coarse. So coarse hair strands are actually the strongest type of hair strand, whereas the thin hair strand, because you have a lower surface area within the strand itself, they're going to be easier to break, to snap, and they aren't as strong. Your strand size is not determined by porosity, it's not determined by your hair type, it's not determined by the density that you have, the overall volume of hair that you have. If you have thin hair strands, your hair is more prone to damage because they're easy to snap, they're easy to break, and they need the most amount of care. So you want to be really gentle and really fragile. Understand that your hair is really fragile if you have thin hair. So something that you can do to kind of bulk up your hair strands if you have fine hair is actually add protein to your routine, because that's going to help build up the actual cuticles of your hair and actually bulk it up a little bit. Protein treatments are going to be gold for you if you have fine hair, because it's actually going to really help make sure it prevents breakage and really bulks up those hair strands. Oils, if you're going to use oils on your hair, anything with protein, like protein based fatty acids, so avocado oil is going to be fantastic for you. You really will see a difference if you really focus in on proteins for fine hair. That's it for today's video. I hope it was a really helpful video to you. If you would like more information on porosity types, hair types, scientific information regarding your hair, then all of this is in my book, Loving My Curls and Coils. And this book is fantastic because, again, we touch on different issues with hair. So we also touch on vitamin deficiencies, scalp conditions, all those things that actually affect your hair, and knowing what causes issues with our hair. This is also in the description bar below, and I hope you enjoyed the video today. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.